Who would have thought a highly advanced civilization could be hidden in the ocean's deepest abyss? With just a wave, they can obliterate cities using marine debris. Yet humanity's ingrained arrogance refuses to accept subservience. A genocidal plan against the waterfolk is quietly brewing. Previous negotiations between the two sides ended inconclusively, with the waterfolk proposing a second round in the Mariana Trench's deepest trenches. But humanity's most advanced manned submersibles can only reach half that depth. Fortunately, the waterfolk agreed to personally escort negotiators safely to the designated site. Even so, Barclay feels uneasy about this mission. He's not even a strong swimmer, let alone trained for deep-sea diving. Yet Salt, the waterfolk envoy, specifically requested Barclay. For humanity's sake, he reluctantly accepted this perilous task. Now he's desperately cramming diving training. His grim determination makes it look like he's preparing for a suicide mission. On departure day, a specialized submersible carries humanity's delegation. A diverse group, including Barclay, diplomats from Security Council nations, and an unexplained Indian representative. Their state gift is symbolic, a wooden globe, representing global village friendship. To awaken the waterfolk's earthly connection. Ready for descent, the delegates are crammed, like sardines into history's toughest submersible. When technicians tightened the final bolt, the reinforced hatch sealed shut. The cabin fell into eerie silence. Buckley felt the submersible being hoisted slowly, then dumped unceremoniously into the sea, light rapidly vanishing around them, leaving only the groans of straining metal in their ears. To break the tension, delegates exchanged dark humor. One joked about marching toward a deathly negotiation, unaware that surface powers plotted war in secret. At Westminster, the U.S. envoy proudly unveiled new weapons. Sonic bombs effective underwater, clearly, targeting the aquafolk as perceived threats. Peace envoy Kate cautioned the assembly. They were negotiating ceasefire with aquafolk, demanding full focus on diplomacy. Yet most power brokers favored military action, believing Earth could have but one master, and, with shipping dynasties fearing aquafolk would strangle maritime trade, risking all humanity. This chorus of hawkish voices isolated Kate, advocating peace amidst warmongers. Human avarice laid bare in this moment. Before species deciding talks commenced, conspiracy already poisoned the waters. Just then, the submersible jolted violently. Instruments confirmed their arrival at 25,000 feet, below sea level, the uncharted Romanche trench depths. Before anyone could react, an unseen force began dragging the vessel downward. That must be the Aquarius doing. The negotiators held their breath and dare not make sound. This helplessness of entrusting our fate to others feels unbearable. When the tremors ceased again, everyone stood frozen in disbelief as the submersible hatch blew off on its own. Yet no seawater flooded in. Baffled, they stepped through the opening to find raging seawater contained by a luminescent membrane. The walls and dome shimmered faintly, pulsing like living tissue. Their technology has evolved beyond our comprehension into the realm of organic engineering. As they marveled, a crystalline voice echoed. Salt, the Aquarist envoy, emerged and gestured for oxygen masks to be removed. When no one complied, Salt approached Buckley directly and removed it for him. Buckley gasped. The air was fresh and breathable, surprisingly land-like. Others followed suit, awestruck by the Aquarist's mastery. Salt led them deeper, explaining, "We're an oceanic nomadic society, with strict hierarchies." Buckley listened in rapt attention, only to turn and find his team vanished, alone with Salt in the confined space. Electric tension crackled between them. Salt's hand swept across Buckley's cheek, murmuring, "I've never known warmth like this." Buckley's heart hammered. Thoughts churned, like turbulent waves, yet Salt perceived all. He sensed Buckley's deepest yearning for peace. "You and I can make a difference in the conflict between our species." Alas, their private moment was abruptly cut short by arriving teammates. Salt's expression instantly frosted over, clearly viewing them as unwelcome intruders. Soon, they reached their destination. A Grand Council chamber packed, wall to wall, with aquatic warriors frozen in formation, standing in silent vigilance, like an army poised for the charge command. "Welcome those who advocate peace negotiations on land." Kate suddenly received an urgent call from her subordinate, who reported intercepting high-level communications, with an alarming frequency of the term severance pay. Before Kate could probe further, a lethal laser dot appeared on her head. Her bodyguard reacted instantly, tackling Kate just before the bullet struck. Below the waves, the delegation approached Salt with solemn steps and presented the wooden globe symbolizing peace. At that precise moment, Buckley noticed a crimson glow pulsing within the globe. "Trap!" he yelled, lunging forward to shove it away. Before it hit the floor, a blinding flash erupted, its catastrophic energy ripping through the chamber. A heartbeat from disaster, Salt clamped Buckley tight and rocketed toward the surface. Meanwhile, continents away, a parallel conspiracy unfolded. As Kate, heart still racing from the near miss, discovered global news looping an official explosive statement. Salt's image glared coldly on screen, declaring, "Human diplomats would feed our offspring with their flesh," while announcing total sea lockdowns barring humans from all waters. Yet the real Salt had just breached the surface with Buckley, spotted by a helicopter patrolling overhead. After returning to the sea-based platform, Buckley reported his underwater encounter in detail to the UN task force headquarters. "This is clearly humans shifting blame." Salt's footage was obviously pre-synthesized, yet Kate knew how powerful those factions were. Buckley's unilateral accusations would make no impact. Poor Salt was confined in a specialized metal tank, transported to London like a rare specimen. The transport driver happened to be Buckley's old acquaintance, Xiao He, who throughout the journey vowed to severely punish this enemy of mankind. Buckley's heart clenched, locking eyes with Salt through the tank. He made a fate-altering decision. Easily swiping the truck keys, Buckley leaped into the cab. Under rifle barrels, he slammed the accelerator, plunging Salt's tank into the sea, then dove in without hesitation. In that instant, Buckley transformed, from humanity's hero to the world's most wanted traitor. As global manhunts targeted the fugitive couple, more terrifying visitors arrived. Thames sensors screamed alarms as 9 powerful aquatic signatures raced toward Parliament through pipes. Kate, an ambassador, stood ready when a male Aquan leader called Tide materialized in the hall's center. Without preamble, he demanded in a thunderous voice why humans betrayed and murdered. Kate could only offer a pale explanation that human civilization is riddled with flaws and contradictions. He could only express profound regret for the negotiators' reckless actions. Tide didn't dwell on the matter, instead stating the purpose of his visit, which was to retrieve the Aquafolk envoy Salt, who during the explosion had prioritized saving humans over his own kind's lives, violating our primordial laws. He must face severe judgment. But Kate firmly countered. "First of all, Salt has escaped. Even captured, we'd never surrender him. This is humanity's affair, not yours." Tide snorted, slamming his scepter against the ground. Then war escalates. He demonstrated a new power, making rust spread like plague, consuming everything. The human delegates watched the Aquafolk envoy depart in awe. "Our technologies aren't remotely comparable." These talks were never equal. Meanwhile, pursued by both factions, Buckley and Salt hid in an abandoned building. Unlike the anxious Buckley, Salt wore childlike wonder and excitement. He confessed to Buckley, "Compared to the eternal deep, I prefer land's warmth. Our society has no families, no love, reproductions, just assigned duty. I envy humanity's intense emotions." By the flickering firelight, they drifted closer. Salt detected Buckley's racing heartbeat, just like when they breached the surface together. The next moment, Salter initiated the kiss. Searchlights swept across the window intermittently as pursuers closed in. Yet within the warm building, a forbidden romance quietly unfolded. For their future, Buckley planned an escape to Wales Mountains, where remote wilderness offered refuge from pursuit, and a vast lake provided habitat for Salter. But as a wanted man, he couldn't accomplish this alone. In desperation, Buckley snatched a passerby's phone. Under night's cover, he secretly called his daughter, urging her to bring out his mother's car. Buckley believed he'd acted covertly, unaware his wife and daughter were under 24-hour surveillance. When he brought Salter to the rendezvous point, his wife's frantic warning pierced the air. "It's a trap." Instantly, sirens blared. Soldiers emerged en masse from hidden positions. They encircled the pair from all directions. The troops represented opposing factions. Kate's UN contingent sought to capture Salter alive, hoping to preserve diplomatic options. Opposing them were hawkish generals demanding Aquarian defeat, who declared a corpse sufficient for research. As both sides vied for Salter, neither yielded. Tension peaked when Salter unleashed a piercing shriek skyward, the soul-piercing sound